Welcome to Make and Take STEM with Engaging Minds Educational Services. I'm your host, Jennifer Bell. Today we're going to be making our very own bubble gum. Before we get into the experiment, let's talk a little bit about the history of bubble gum. So bubble gum was invented officially in 1928 by a man named Walter Dimer. He worked at a chewing gum factory as an accountant. This means that he worked with numbers. He made sure that the company stayed within their budget in terms of their spending. However, in his free time, he liked to experiment with different formulas. And so one day he was experimenting and he came up with a formula that resulted in a gum that was not as sticky as regular chewing gum, and it was super stretchy. Now, because it was super stretchy, Walter's invention allowed something new to happen with gum. It allowed people to blow bubbles. As you know, this fascinated children and people all over the world, and so bubble gum became a huge phenomenon. People rushed to buy it from stores, and you would always see children walking down the street blowing bubbles and having contests as to see who could blow the largest bubble. However, before Walter's invention of bubble gum, and even before the invention of chewing gum, people across the world have been chewing substances for thousands of years. In fact, the ancient Greeks chewed mastic, which is the resin of a mastic tree, and it was said to have antiseptic properties, or in other words, it kind of helped heal when they were sick or had any type of infection, right? So also the Aztecs, which primarily lived in South America, they chewed what was known as chicle, which is the sap of a sapodilla tree, and Native Americans chewed the sap of a spruce tree in the 1400s. So as you can see, chewing gum and chewing substances like gum have been a part of our human experience for thousands of years. Now, let's get into our activity, and you guys will have an opportunity to create your own bubble gum and experiment with different flavors and colors. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is you want to find a nice, clean workspace to conduct your experiment, okay? The next thing you want to do is you want to open your kit, and you want to make sure that you have all your materials set out. So you should have a mixing container and a mixing tool. The mixing tool is a popsicle stick, essentially. You should have a sheet of wax paper. You should have a bag of powdered sugar. Now, powdered sugar is going to add our sweetener and our flavoring to our bubble gum. You should also have a pack of corn syrup, and corn syrup will also add the sweetener to our bubble gum. You should have a smaller pack of bubblegum flavor, and this is going to give your bubblegum that distinct flavor that most bubblegums have. And finally, you should have a pack of little pellet-looking objects, and this is actually your gum base. If you can go ahead and experiment with it, and you can squeeze it. You can even put it in your mouth and taste it. Now, it chews like gum, but it's not flavored, it's not sweet at all, and this is the gum base. This is what we're going to add the flavor and the sugar to. Now, this is made out of, in the past it was made out of chicle or the sap from trees, but nowadays, because bubble gum is a big manufacturing product, the formula is usually kept secret. However, it's made of a lot of materials and ingredients that are mostly synthetic now. So a lot of bubblegum companies aren't necessarily using the sap of a tree to make their gum base. All right, now if you have all of your materials set out, we're ready to begin. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to open your powdered sugar, and you want to pour half of the powdered sugar on top of your wax paper into a mound. And then what you want to do is you want to take your finger and kind of make a well or a hole inside of the powdered sugar. Okay? The next thing is to take your gum base And you want to pour your gum base into your mixing container. Now, if you don't want to make all of your bubble gum today, you can just pour maybe half of your gum base into your mixing container. That's completely up to you. You can always go back and try and experiment with different flavors and adding different amounts of sugar to see how you can vary your bubble gum. After you've gotten all of your gum base into your mixing container, you want to add the corn syrup. So just pour the corn syrup on top of your gum base. Just squeeze it out. This will get a little messy, so make sure you have some paper towels on hand. All right, so we're getting our corn syrup. I'm gonna use my popsicle stick to kind of help get some more of this syrup out because it is very sticky. This is also gonna help to give our bubble gum the stickiness and the stretchiness that we look for. All right, and you wanna take your gum flavor and you want to pour that into your container as well. So pour all of that into your container. Now, this next step is very important. Okay? You need access to a microwave because we do need to heat this mixture up because bubble gum is stretchy and it's sticky, and we need to get it to become in a solidified or a melted state in order to roll it and shape it and mold it into the shape that we would like. So what you need to do is you need to take your container. We're gonna go to the microwave and we're gonna microwave it on high for about 5 to 10 seconds. Now in between each interval, I want you to stir your mixture and put it back in the microwave for another 5 to 10 seconds. Be very careful. This is the part that you might want to get an adult to help you with because this mixture will be extremely hot. Okay, so now that our gum mixture is hot and in a liquidy, kind of a liquidy, solidy state. It's actually a polymer. So what we want to do is you want to pour the mixture into the well of the powdered sugar. It's okay if it comes out of the hole that you created and kind of makes its way onto the wax paper. You want to take your mixing tool and you want to spread the powdered sugar and mix the powdered sugar and your gum mixture until it's cool enough for you to be able to do this by hand. So just continue mixing the powdered sugar, and you should notice your gum mixture starting to cool off and to change from a more liquidy state to gaining some more of those solid properties. If you need to add more powdered sugar, add more powdered sugar. I think I put enough powdered sugar on my wax paper to where I don't need to add any more powdered sugar. But if you feel like you need to add more, this is the time for you to go ahead and add more powdered sugar. All right, so I think mine is cool enough now to where I can actually use my hands to start kneading my gum. So to knead your gum base, you want to just take your fingers, grab some powdered sugar, and kind of just roll your gum around in the powdered sugar. And you want to continue doing this until your gum mixture won't absorb any more of the sugar. Again, be very careful. Make sure you wait until your gum mixture has cooled off enough to do this step by hand. Just keep kneading and adding more sugar as needed. There we go. I'm gonna get some more sugar. You want to do this until you're not able to absorb any more sugar into your mixture. Okay, now it is time for the best part of all, the taste test. Go ahead and grab a piece of your gum, pop it in your mouth, and enjoy. Thank you. This has been Make and Take STEM with Engaging Minds Educational Services. My name is Jennifer Bell, and I look forward to seeing you next time.